Okay, welcome back. This is the 9th hole. I played this two different ways. I played the right side, left side. Now, when you're playing the right side, to me, it's more safer than playing the left side. Now, if you're doing well in the tournament and you don't really need an albatross to take that risk to get the albatross, I would suggest the right side. Now, if you need that albatross and you're really going after that albatross and you really need it to gain on the field or to get that stroke at the end, I suggest going the left side. But it is riskier, the drive, and this is the right side, and I will see if I still got the video saved for the left side for you. But to explain this right side, what I did is I played this at plus 20% elevation, max distance, Thor's hammer. This works perfect. 232 yards, I believe Thor's 5. Thor's 5 works fine for this too. Now red touch in the rough. 2 back, 2 right. 20% max distance. That's all you have to do. This is at max distance, red touch in the rough. It's a pretty easy shot, just hit perfect. You hit great to the left, you're still going to be okay, as long as it's not too far to great to the left. Great to the right, well, I don't think I hit a great to the right. So no curl, hit perfect. Basically, you're always trying to hit perfect though. And as you can see, it hits, rolls down there. Nice position, nice setup for your second shot. Now the second shot, I suggest taking a big dog with you. Now here's the second shot. I didn't have time to tweak this shot. I actually can point it out a few things here is what I would do. Now I was checking the elevation here. We played this at 20%. And I went with 1.5 back here is what I like to go. 1.5 back, full left. Now, like I said, this is early, so I think I only went 1 back on here. But after I liked 1.5 back. So what I'm doing is I'm pushing up to try to find out how many more rings do we have to go in order to miss that rough patch. And I believe I settled at 1.5 to 2 rings. So instead of overpowering our shot, all we're doing is we're pushing the rings up, whatever we checked that we needed to actually miss that rough patch. So let's play it again and I will show you what I mean. I'm pushing into overpower here and I'm checking to see how much it's going to take to miss that rough patch. So we put our spin on first. Make sure you put your spin on first. See, we went 1 back. A suggestion is 1.5. 1.5 works nice. Then we pushed it up here. You're not going to see the overpower line here, but there's a red overpower line. And when you push it up, you'll see how many rings you are past that red overpower line. And for us, it was about 2 rings. So now we turn it, get our ball guide going straight. We push it up those 2 rings. Now we don't have to overpower it. Now all we have to do is worry about the curl, because we're trying to keep it away from that rough patch here. So what we did is when we pushed it up into overpower, we pushed it up so that the red ring was touching the rough. So this way, if we great bullet to the left, great bullet to the right, we're going to be fine. So you always want to be safe. You don't want to have that yellow right up to the rough patch when you're pushing it into overpower. Because if you great bullet to the left, you're not going to be safe. So as you can see that here, we push it into overpower. And the red is close to the rough. I actually moved it closer on future attempts. We got the blue actually halfway into the rough. So one suggestion is, well, we did move it over. We got the red touch in the rough. This is 20% max distance. And then after that point, it's just a matter of getting the proper curl into it. You can see how much we curled it. It wasn't enough. I suggest the outside of the ball past the outside of the adjustment ring. And that'll get you pretty close for the albatross. So that's one way to play it. So like I mentioned, that's the safer way to play it. This is the other way to play it. We took the chance in the final round and we played a different way. And what I chose is a Thor's hammer here because we're going to have to go into overpower now. Now, this is a delicate shot. We're going to have to go into overpower, and if you're going to go into overpower with an extra mile, of course it's got further yards here. If you got an extra mile 8, you're going to have 236 yards. This is only 232, so it's 4 yards less. So, but the thing is, we got more topspin on this. So I sacrificed the extra yardage of the club for the topspin and for the accuracy of the club because I knew we're going to have to go into overpower here. So the thing is, another thing is, I chose the Kingmaker because the overpower needle is slower on a Kingmaker than it is on the Titan. So those are the reasons I went with a Thor's hammer for accuracy reason and the Kingmaker for overpower reason. So this is what we did. We played this at 20% elevation once again. And we got the, you can see we got the red halfway into the rough. But once we overpower it, we're going to be quite a bit past that rough because you can see there's a bump into the rough patch here. There's a bump. So we're going to be further down because we're overpowering this. So you got to remember that. And then we push it up to max. And then we pulled it back a bit. The reason being, if you got it pushed up into full max and you're going max overpower, that needle is going to be crazy fast. So I figured if we pull it back just a bit, we're not going to be quite, the needle hopefully will slow down just a little bit because we're not going to be everything into max, max, max. So you can see it ended up pretty nice. You can great ball it to the right like we did there just a little bit. But the whole idea is to hit perfect and get all that curl into it too. You hit perfect or great ball right, you're okay. Great ball left, you're in trouble. You could go out of bounds. So that's why this is a high risk shot as far as I'm concerned. So that's shot 1. And here's shot 2. As I mentioned, you can get the albatross here. I did not get it because I believe I wasn't using the proper elevations. I went with plus 20% on one of my attempts, and I also went to plus 35% on another one of my attempts. Now, I'm not sure what I used on this attempt, if it was 20 or 35, but I missed on both attempts, so... But there was people that were making it at plus 20% elevation, plus 20, plus 25. I just didn't know why I didn't make it. So basically, we run the ball guide through the hole, about a square pass. You can see the red ring. It looks like we got a nice setup. We got a straight pull here. And if we hit perfect, we'll see what we did wrong. Then you can count the rings, check the elevation, and just adjust it accordingly after that. Should be able to get this shot. You can see we just missed to the right. So it's just a matter of tweaking this shot a little bit. And it does give you a better opportunity at an albatross, like I mentioned, but it's a high risk first shot. So if you want to play a safe shot, play the first shot I showed you. Thanks for watching this tournament, folks. Good luck on the one we're about to play, and I'll get out some content for that too. Not sure when though. Take care. Bye for now.